he is your enemy. He is coming in your life as an enemy. So whether it is friend or enemy, the role is very clear. They are going to suppress your brain from secreting the FSH naturally. Always keep in your mindset, am I in a need for this IVF or ICSI? There were one complication took place called OHSS, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, which is a very dreaded complication, and it is a nightmare for the gynecologist, which happens when we stimulate the ovaries excessively. Sometimes this has happened. So it is sometimes life-threatening for the female partner who has undergone this stimulation or this program. Now let's step into the third video. So about no IVF ICSI end to end, or say no IVF or ICSI. So in this third video, what are we going to speak about it? It is like purely the type of stimulation. So already we have spoken about what type of hormone is used. In this third video, what is the type of stimulation we are going to, what is the type of protocol? There are two protocols. One is called the agonist protocol and the second one is called the antagonist protocol. As I mentioned, these are all very informative videos and educative videos about infertility. Please keep a pen and a paper, keep a note of it. What is agonist and antagonist? This means we need to understand in infertility, when I'm undergoing IVF or ICSI treatment, you are going to get two types of injections. So this is very important. So already I've explained about one injection in the second video. Now in the third part, I'm explaining about the second injection, what is being administered. So what happens is agonist, antagonist. As the word implies, agonist is like, he will be like your friend and he will pull you down at the end. That is called agonist. Simply I'm mentioning it. What is antagonist means? He is your enemy. He is coming in your life as an enemy. So whether it is friend or enemy, the role is very clear. They are going to suppress your brain from secreting the FSH naturally. So this is a very, very, very important point. So we need to understand why the second injection is administered is, so when the brain is secreting FSH on its own, it will only allow you to grow only one egg in a particular month and you are going to get only one baby. When we are going to the stimulation, we want to get more number of eggs to grow. So when this FSH has to be suppressed and they are giving, instead of endogenous FSH, we are giving exogenous FSH. We are administering FSH externally in higher quantity and making all the eggs to grow. At the same time, we want to suppress this FSH also. There are two reasons. One, we need to suppress this FSH, and secondly, why this second injection is being administered means, see, you are understanding, you are going to get the injection, hormone injection, FSH or HMG for 8 to 12 days. What happens is, when the eggs started growing, say for example starting from 2 mm, 4, 6, 8, when the egg attains the size of around 18 to 24 millimeters, that maximum size of the growth, it goes through the rupture. Then we call it as a follicle. That follicle is ruptured and the egg inside is being released into the fallopian tube. So this is the point is happening. So this rupture should not happen. At the end of the day, what we need, what is the need for stimulating this ovaries and creating more number of eggs? We need to get these eggs outside. We need to retrieve these eggs outside, and that egg should be used with IVF or ICSI procedure with your own male partner's sperm, fuse it and create more number of embryos. So these eggs should not rupture internally inside your ovaries without our control. So we need to have a control. So it's a programmed cycle. We are having that control. This is one of the reason I am telling it's a completely naturally mimicked artificial procedure. So that is why we cannot beat the nature. So when you are going to go through this procedure, always keep in your mindset, am I in a need for this IVF or ICSI? Otherwise, don't go for IVF ICSI. Just we want to get the baby in a quicker interval, don't step into IVF or ICSI. Unless there is an indication for you to undergo this IVF or ICSI, kindly go through, because it's an artificial procedure. We are knocking your brain from secreting FSH, we are stimulating your ovaries, we are making all your eggs to grow. There may be some long-term effect, but definitely I'm not going to threaten you. There are so many individuals who have been undergone IVF 30 years before, still they are doing well, but always definitely a small subset of complications and serious negative effects are there. Nobody can deny that. Please understand. So we have to be open-minded. At the cost of my health and without any proper indication, let me not step into IVF or ICSI. So this agonist and antagonist, I have given this two. When they start this agonist injection is generally during the earlier days when the IVF and ICSI was introduced in the market somewhere around 40-50 years, this agonist was being administered, which means on the previous cycle day, if I am going to plan for IVF in the subsequent month, the previous month on the 21st day of the cycle, they start giving one injection for almost 10 days, and then by a blood assessment, they'll understand and it is the second day and they'll start giving the stimulation. So it is completely, the injection is for an extended duration, like 10 days they give on the previous month itself. So you need to go to the center on a daily basis, administer those injections, and it is less expensive. But these are all being practiced by the gynecologists who were 30 years before in the field practicing IVF. They are very happy, convinced on the outcome. Even now if they are practicing, they are very convinced to go through this agonist protocol. The reason is two. By using this agonist protocol, what is happening is they are having a very good uniform collection of eggs. In terms of quality, the egg collection is coming with a very good uniform picture. This is the mindset, and to some extent literature also supporting this. The egg is going in a very uniform fashion and the quality of the egg is really good. Secondly, what has happened is the success rate is much better when they are going through this agonist protocol. So the senior gynecologists, the elderly gynecologists who are practicing IVF ICSI some 20-30 years before, they are very much happy about this agonist protocol, and we understood why this agonist is being administered as a second injection in our body. But over a period of time, because we are making everything shorter, sweeter, simpler, but not my videos shorter and sweeter and simpler. I need to admit that it's all awareness videos. I need to take some time to make you all create an awareness and an interesting. So that's it. So this antagonist protocol has been introduced some 20-30 years before. It is being started on the second day of your cycle. So it is an enemy. I came to knock your FSH secretion from the brain, so the injection is administered. I'm not telling I'm your friend and kicking you at the back. I am an enemy. I'm going to start right away suppress your secretion of FSH from your brain on the day 2. So this is the way it works on it. So this is how it happens. And antagonist will be given for 8 to 10 days. So it's very easy. Earlier the days, there will be some sort of price variation. Like agonist is given for a longer duration, antagonist is given for a shorter duration, some sort of price variation was there. And most important difference was going between these two things is when we are using this agonist injection, there were one complication took place called OHSS, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, which is a very dreaded complication, and it is a nightmare for the gynecologist, which happens when we stimulate the ovaries excessively. Sometimes this has happened. So it is sometimes life-threatening for the female partner who has undergone this stimulation or this program. So when this antagonist came to the public in this relation only. So nowadays you have seen this familiar words also, OHSS free clinics, which means they are not allowing to happen this OHSS, it's completely free. So when this antagonist came to the market, it was having that benefit. But what happened is, every benefit comes with a compromise. So there is nothing like perfection in everything. When there is one thing perfect, there is one imperfect in that also. So it's a very simple logic we need to understand. What happened in antagonist is, like when they have started using antagonist, the endometrium was not favorable for implantation in the same month. So this is the problem we have started facing. So the technology of freezing, cryopreservation, vitrification came into the market. So when we are transferring the embryos on the same month, at the time of and stimulation, the results were not very pronounced. So as we say, the elderly gynecologists and senior gynecologists were sticking onto their own safe protocol because the result is most important at the end of the day. Success is very important. So agonist was being consistently practiced by the senior and elderly gynecologists. The young budding gynecologists, the recent generation gynecologists are very comfortable with antagonists, batching, programming, easy methodology. So now what happened is, even in antagonist batch, antagonist protocol, they are started transferring on the same month with some improved success rates with a favorable implantation and embryo receptivity. So let's understand, agonist and antagonist is a protocol, and the second type of injection is administered for you, and it goes with some small difference, and why it has been administered I have made elaborate. So when you are going to go through this program for your need, make a note of it and ask your clinician whether you are doing agonist protocol or antagonist protocol and move forward accordingly. See you in the fourth video. Good day.